Good day, everyone. Welcome to our quarter 3. So I will be your teacher Erlene. Today we will be discussing the first learning activity sheet. But before that, let us recall first the function of the reproductive system for male and female, and let us discover what are the functions of the urinary and endocrine systems. So the function of the reproductive system is to ensure the survival of the species. Meanwhile, the endocrine and the urinary systems, they work continuously to maintain homeostasis for the survival of the individual. There are 4 major functions of the reproductive system within the context of producing offsprings. First is to transport and sustain these cells. Second is to produce egg and sperm cells. The third function is to nurture the developing offspring. Specifically, this is one of the main functions of the female reproductive system. Then lastly is to produce hormones. For the first Melc, we are tasked to explain the role of the hormones that are involved in the female and male reproductive systems. And we have 4 specific objectives under this lesson. First objective is to identify the hormones and the parts as well as the functions of the male and female reproductive system. We will also be identifying these hormones that are involved in the female and male reproductive systems. Then, we will be discussing what are the roles of these hormones that are involved in the reproductive systems for both male and female. Then lastly, you will be asked to compose an essay regarding the role of hormones in the reproductive health. So let's begin with this one. Let us have an activity wherein you will be identifying the parts of the male reproductive system. So given these parts such as the scrotum, testis, prostate gland, bladder, urethra, penis, and vas deferens, may I request you to pause this for a while and be able to identify the parts. Great job! So I think you are now ready to reveal to know the right answers. So here are the correct answers. So for number 1, we have the bladder. That's the bladder. Number 2, that's the prostate gland. Third, that's the penis. And the fourth one, that's the urethra. Fifth is the vas deferens. Sixth is the testis. And the seventh part here is the scrotum. Okay, great job for all of you. So let us now come with the female reproductive system. You will be asked again, same instruction. This time we'll be having now the female reproductive parts. For the female reproductive parts, same instruction. You will be identifying, label the parts. There are the parts: cervix, fimbria, uterus, fallopian tube, ovum, ovary, uterine lining, and the vagina. So you may pause this for 2 minutes, then answer this in your notebook. Okay, so to reveal the answer, we have here on the top is the fallopian tube. This is the fimbria. This one is the uterine lining. This part is the uterus, while here is the ovary. Ovary has ovum inside, and this one is cervix. This part is the vagina. Here we go. I think you're already energized. So this time, let us have another activity, and the title is matching type. All you have to do is to match the parts of male and female reproductive systems in column A with their functions that are found in column B. Okay, may I now flash in our activity? So here are the two columns, column A and column B. All you have to do is to match them with the parts and the function. So may I ask you to pause this video for a while and be able to answer it in your notebook. Write your answers in your notebook. Happy working, everyone! Revelation time! So may I now reveal the correct answers for the activity. Here are the right answers. So for number 1, we have here letter E. The testis is the one who produces the sperm cells. For number 2, we have K. K is scrotum, is a sac of skin wherein it holds the testis. Third, we have A. The penis is the one that deposits sperms into the vagina during the mating. Fourth, we have letter C. Vas deferens is the one that carries the sperm from the testis going to the urethra. While number 5 is J. The vagina is the one that receives the penis of the male during the mating. Sixth is letter D. D. Seminal vesicle is the one that secretes a slightly alkaline milky fluid that is discharged as part of the semen. Number 8 is the ovary. What's the function of the ovary? Ovary is basically the counterpart of the testis. If the testis produces sperm cells, the ovary is the one that produces the female cell, which is the egg cells. 9 is the uterus. Uterus serves as the site of egg implantation. It is also where the fertilized egg develops. 10 is the cervix. Cervix allows the menstrual blood to flow out from the vagina during menstruation. Then 11 is the fallopian tubes or fallopian tube. This serves as a passageway of eggs from the ovary to the uterus, or it is the site of egg fertilization. Okay, I hope you get it all. Okay? All right. So we have already these ideas about parts, functions of male and female reproductive systems. This time, let us now move on with the hormones. What are hormones and how do hormones work? Why hormones are very important, especially why hormones are involved in the reproductive systems. So let us discover. Hormones are basically display an important role in both the female and male reproductive systems. The pituitary gland are the ones who control the functions of both the testes and the ovaries. We know that testes are the one that produce sperm cells, while ovaries are the one that produce egg cells. And these hormones are the one that keeps the reproductive system properly working. So this time, when we say male reproductive system, also has prostate gland. Chemicals from this gland nourishes the sperm cells, and this helps the sperm cells mature. The production of sperm cells and the release of semens can be regulated by hormones or special chemicals that come from the testes, the brain, and the pituitary gland. These hormones keep the reproductive system properly working. Just like the male reproductive system, the female reproductive system is also regulated by hormones. The follicles produce hormones that control the growth and release of eggs from the ovaries, while the other hormones prepare the uterus so the baby can grow inside. Our other hormones still control the stretching of the uterus during pregnancy. Here is the table that shows the different hormones involved in male and female reproductive systems. So we have here the gland, location of the gland, the hormones released by the gland, and the function of the hormones. Let us now move on first with the pituitary. Pituitary gland is found at the base of the brain. Basically, the pituitary glands secretes hormones such as the gonadotrophin growth hormone or the GnRH. We have also the luteinizing hormone or the LH and the follicle stimulating hormone or the FSH. This hormone stimulates growth and controls the functions of the other glands. While for male reproductive system, they have this other gland known as the testes. Testes are found at the lower abdomen, wherein it secretes androgen and testosterone. Androgen and testosterone controls maturation and other male characteristics, such as the onset of Adam's apple, the onset of pubic hair, and other things for the male. For the female, they have these ovaries with the same location as the testes, found at the lower abdomen, wherein it releases or secretes androgen, estrogen, and progesterone, wherein it influences the female traits, the onset of the breast, and menstruation, and it supports also the reproductive functions. Okay, so I have here questions for you. Number one, which hormones are responsible for the secondary male characteristics like the lowering the voice and the growing of the facial hair? Second, which hormones are also responsible for the secondary female characteristics like the enlargement of breasts and broadening of hips? Third, which gland is responsible for male and female sex development? Okay, so you may pause this, then think of the answers. Let us now move on with the physical effects of teen hormones. Teen hormones are the one that is responsible for the normal physical and sexual development of a being. At the beginning of puberty, the brain releases a hormone called GnRH, or it stands for gonadotrophin releasing hormone. The GnRH triggers the pituitary gland, which is a small but significant gland that controls the production of the major hormones, to secrete follicle stimulating hormone, which is the FSH, and the luteinizing hormone, the LH, into your bloodstream. These teen hormones have different effects on males and females. In girls, the FSH and the LH will instruct the ovaries to begin producing estrogen, one of the primary female sex hormones, and eggs. While for the boys, the same hormones, the FSH and the LH, tell the testes to begin producing testosterone, the male sex hormone, as well as the sperm. So at the same time, there are significant changes that happens both to male and girls. Like for example, taller, grow taller, and put on weight and muscle mass. Girls also begins their menstrual period. Boys develop their larger sex organs and will be able to ejaculate. And both boys and girls, develop hairs on the legs, underarms, and over the sex organs. Same thing, they produce a stronger odors and may develop acne and other skin problems. So these are all effects of these hormones. To know your understanding regarding the discussion, you may pause this for a while and answer the 4 questions. The National Population Commission cited that there is an alarming increased rate of teenage pregnancy in the Philippines. At 6%, the Philippines has the second largest teen pregnancy in the Southeast Asia. At the same time, DOH shared a report that there is an increased rate of sexually transmitted diseases, or we known as the STDs, among teenagers. With your knowledge and rules of hormones in the reproductive health, compose an essay reflecting on these two questions. Number one, why do you think there is an increase in teenage pregnancy and teenage STDs in the country? Number two, as a teenager, how can you avoid engaging in unhealthy sexual encounters? You will be writing your answer in a clean, short bond paper to be submitted on the next retrieval of answer sheets. Okay? Following this rubric, this will be the guideline for scoring your essay. Structure and argument, we have here the guidelines. Okay? I think here we go. And that will be all for this session. Mabuhay and thank you everyone. See you on the next videos.